guys, welcome back and welcome to my channel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Today's topic is going to be the difference of perfect squares, and I'm really excited because this is really easy, so let's just get started. Okay, so this is kind of like a cheat sheet or like a little formula for like the difference of perfect squares, and I will try to break it down, but basically if you follow this, you can't really go wrong or get it wrong. We have 100x squared minus 9, which is your a squared minus b squared, and so you want to break that down. So 100x squared is your a squared. So what's the square root of the a? Of the a squared, so that's 100. The square root is 10, and of the x squared is x, because x squared, basically for like exponents and stuff, you just divide it by 2. If it was like cube root, it would be x to the third, and you just divide it by 3. So if it was x to the fourth and you're looking for a square root, it would be x squared. And for 9 it's 3, so just fill it into the parentheses. Alrighty, so after I got the square root of the a squared and the b squared, they turn into a and b, so just fill it in and follow the formula. Okay, so for the second one, I walked you guys through how I solved it. And the second problem was x squared minus 25. And it gets pretty obvious once you start to like get the hang of it. You just kind of like move through it quickly. But so you fill in your a, which is x, because the square root of x squared would be x because it's a square root. So you divide by 2. If it was a cube root, you divide by 3, and so on like that. So I use my calculator to show you guys how you can find the square root if you need to do that. And so the square root of 25 is 5. So you just fill that in for b, because that's the square root of b squared, and that's how you solve it. That easy. Okay guys, I am so frustrated because I accidentally deleted all of my editing after spending 2 hours on this video, and I deleted everything, so I had to kind of hurry up and re-edit everything. So the second half of this video is going to be different from the first, so I'm sorry. Okay, also I want to point out that the voiceover isn't going to really match with the pictures or the clips, because I had to figure something out for the clips because I lost those. So try not to think about it too much and just kind of listen and try to follow along with the equations. I'm really sorry for this, but yeah. So I skipped over number 3 because it was too easy, so let's just get into something else that's just a little bit more difficult. So 16x squared minus 121, and that is basically exactly a squared minus b squared. And so now what you want to do is break that down into a minus b and a plus b. So you simply do that by getting the square roots, because for a squared to go to a, you have to get the square root. Okay, so you can always start with the parentheses to kind of like replicate the a minus b and the a plus b. If it works for you, it works for you. It'll make it easier if you're just learning to do it. So you can always put into your calculator. Obviously, it's not gonna help you solve the x squared, but yeah, just watch me struggle. Okay, so the square root of 16 is 4, if you didn't know that. And the square root of x squared is x, because exponents are different than numbers. And don't forget, it's being multiplied together. 16x squared is gonna be the square root. The square root is gonna be 4x. I'm struggling with words, I'm sorry. And then square root of 121 is 11. And you just fill it in. And that's your answer. Okay, so I know I just said we're moving on to more difficult problems, but these are even a little bit more difficult because we're dealing with more exponents now, I guess. And don't get scared, I don't think it's all that difficult, but yeah. So make your parentheses plus minus. Once you get that down, it just gets easier to fill in. So for x squared, we've established that it's x. So now for y to the 6th power, if you're looking for the square, we just divide by 2, so y to the 3rd. And the square root of 1 is 1, because 1 times 1 is 1. Duh. Anyways, so yeah, just put the x and the y together because they're being multiplied. Okay, please don't freak out on me because this looks really difficult, but it's not. So just break it apart, the number and the y. So square root of 36 is 6, the square root of y. So the 4 divided by 2, so that's y squared. And then the minus 121, the square root is 11. So now you know what your a and your b's are, and just fill it into the parentheses. So 6 times the y squared and 11. Okay, so for the last one, we have 16x squared y squared minus 1. It's not difficult, I promise. Let's start with the number. Square root of that is 4. Square root of x squared is x. Square root of y squared is y, because you just divide all the exponents by 2. And you multiply all that together, so you have 4xy. The square root of 1 is obviously 1. So just fill all those variables into the parentheses. So I just want to show you guys the way I multiply, because I just cannot imagine multiplying any other way. So I use the box method. So basically you put one binomial on top and the other on the side, and you can obviously do trinomials, polynomials. You just have to make your squares. You just have to add more squares to fit all the numbers, I guess, and you just multiply across the 4x by the 4xy, the 1 times the 4xy, the 4xy by the negative, the 1 by the 1. I don't sound like I know what I'm saying, but it's kind of like a visual thing, I guess. But yeah, just multiply across, combine your like terms, cancel one to be canceled out, and just put it together. This is very, very easy, honestly. Okay, so I threw in 2 examples to kind of like help you guys a little bit more with the box method if you do want to start using it and try it out. So you put one binomial on top, or whatever nomial you choose to multiply by, and the second one by the side. So in this case it's a binomial, so you have the x plus 2 and the 2x plus 5. So you pick the first line and you just multiply across. So the 2x multiplied by everything on the top, 2x by the x, 2x by the 2, and then you pick the bottom line, so everything multiplied by the 5 by x and 5 by 2, and you just fill it in. And then at the end, all you want to do is add or subtract all your like terms. So in this case, it would be 2x squared plus 9x plus 10. Okay, so now we're multiplying a trinomial by a binomial. And I'm going to say it's kind of like graphing. So basically, whatever box is missing and you're trying to multiply by, you just follow it like you would for a graph. So if you're looking for like the point 42, you would just follow from the top and from the side till you reach there. So that's what you multiply by. I genuinely hope I haven't confused anybody trying to explain how to solve with the box method, but this is the last example I'll throw in to try to help you guys. I really hope you do understand it though, because it helps a lot. But if you just can't figure it out, or if it's just not for you, this is the typical way you multiply. But I promise you, in algebra 2, it's gonna get really, really hard when you're gonna have to start multiplying like polynomials together. It's gonna get complicated real quick, so learn the box method can and will be very, very helpful. But yeah, this is just the second way you can multiply it, and just make sure that your answer is correct. And that's it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for making it to the very end. I hope you found this video helpful and you learned a thing or two. If you did enjoy the video, feel free to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to turn on post notifications so you don't miss another upload. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Bye guys!